Hi, Karson. First of all, I love you so much. And again, this YouTube channel is so that you can have me read you a book anytime that you want to read a book and maybe you don't have one with you. Anytime you miss me and want to hear my voice. If you're going to bed at someone else's house for a sleepover, I got you. It's my single most favorite part of every day is reading to you and your brother, and if you can't be here, then I will bring it to you. Speaking of brother, he's in the house right now, so we might see him. We'll start with more bears. You get pretty excited about more bears. So, like we do at home, if you will yell out, "More bears," that would work perfectly with this book and it being the first book that we are going to read. So, this is More Bears by Kenn Nesbitt with art by Troy Cummings. Once upon a time, there was a story. This story was a lovely story with absolutely no bears in it. Not a single bear anywhere. Then, one day, what? Who said that? The author of the story looked around the room, wondering where those voices had come from. Were those the voices of children shouting? Then he went back to writing. As I was saying, this story had absolutely no bears at all. The author was very certain about this. The author tried very, very hard to ignore the children who thought that the story ought to have Fine, this story had a bear. It was a cute little baby bear strolling through the book looking for Now hold on a second. The author of this story knew exactly how many bears it should have, and the author insisted there should only be 2 bears. There, happy now? An adorable, cuddly, wuddly little baby bear named Mr. Fluffy, and his mama bear, Stella, who always wore a yellow hat. Now, it happened that Stella and Mr. Fluffy, like all bears, were especially fond of more bears, of course. The author was just thinking that. The author was thinking that, just to keep everybody happy, this story should have a papa bear, whose name, by the way, was Captain Picklehead, and a bear named Uncle Sheldon, who was bald and loved to play the ukulele. Now, where were we? Oh, yes. Stop that. How many bears is this story to have anyway? Do you really want to hear about Bobcat Sam, the bear who rode a pony, and Admiral Haversham, the English dancing bear, and Excellent Steve, the bear who just wanted to surf? You do? Wow, why didn't you say so? In that case, the author suddenly decided that what this story really needed was yes, more bears. So the author added Astro Bear, who, by the way, was Bulgarian and always kept a hamster in his pocket, just in case. And then the author put in 3 more bears named Lester, Chester, Esther, and Floyd. Wait, that's 4. Oh well. 4 is okay, because after all, this story really needed It needed a bear named Lucky Eddie who juggled carrots, and a bear named Elbow who wasn't very smart and always wore his underpants on the outside of his regular pants. What? And a bear named 123, which even the author thought was a strange name for a bear. And since this probably wasn't enough, the author added The author added 6 bears on tiny pink bicycles, 2 bears reading comic books, 1 bear flying across the page in a cape and lederhosen, 3 more bears swinging through trees on vines, a bear in a yellow submarine, several bears making cupcakes, and an entire team of firefighting bears running across the page with hoses, ladders, and party balloons. There were bears hanging from the top of the page, bears sleeping in the corners, and bears standing on top of other bears. There were so many bears in the story that they couldn't all fit on the page. It was crowded. Too crowded. So crowded that some bears started pushing other bears off the page and arguing, which made the author grumpy. And when authors get grumpy, they start rewriting, changing the story. In fact, this author was so grumpy, he told the bears to leave, and they did. After all, this was the author's story. They walked off the page, they rode off the page, they swung, surfed, danced, climbed, ran, and even somersaulted off the page. At last, all the bears were gone, and the author smiled. Finally, the author had a story with no bears in it. A lovely story with not a single bear anywhere, just the way the author wanted it. Because, you see, the author was quite certain that this story should absolutely have more chickens. We love that one. All right. Stickman by Julia Donaldson and Axel Scheffler. Stickman lives in the family tree with his stick lady love and their stick children 3. One day he wakes early and goes for a jog. Stickman, oh Stickman, beware of the dog. A stick, barks the dog, an excellent stick, the right kind of stick for my favorite trick. I'll fetch it and drop it and fetch it, and then I'll drop it and fetch it and drop it again. I'm not a stick. Why can't you see? I'm Stickman. I'm Stickman. I'm Stickman. That's me. And I want to go home to the family tree. A notice says dogs must be kept on the lead. At last the game's over and Stickman is freed. He sets off for home with a hop and a twirl. Stickman, oh Stickman, beware of the girl. A stick, cries the girl with a smile on her face, the right kind of poo stick for winning the race. Has everyone got one? Get ready to throw. It's 1, 2, 3, into the river they go. I'm not a poo stick, why can't they see? I'm Stickman, I'm Stickman, I'm Stickman, that's me, and I'm heading away from the family tree. Stickman is floating, he floats on and on. Stickman, oh Stickman, beware of the swan. A twig, says the swan, this twig is the best. It's the right kind of twig to weave into my nest. I'm not a twig, why can't they see? I'm Stickman, I'm Stickman, I'm Stickman, that's me, and I long to be back in the family tree. The nest is deserted and Stickman is free. He drifts down the river and sails out to sea. He tosses and turns till the frolicking foam washes him up on a beach far from home. Here comes a dad with a spade in his hand. Stickman, oh stickman, beware of the sand. A mast, yells the dad, an excellent mast. Hooray, there's a flag on our castle at last. I'm not a mast for a silly old flag, or a sword for a knight, or a hook for a bag. I'm not a pen, I'm not a bow, I'm not a bat or a boomerang, no. I'm Stickman, oh stickman, beware of the snow. Here comes a boy in a warm woolly scarf, an arm for my snowman, he says with a laugh. I'm not an arm, can nobody see? I'm Stickman, I'm Stickman, I'm Stickman, that's me. Will I ever get back to the family tree? Stickman is lonely, Stickman is lost, Stickman is frozen and covered in frost. Stickman is weary, his eyes start to close. He stretches and yawns and lies down for a doze. He can't hear the bells or the sweet singing choir, or the voice saying, here's a good stick for the fire. Stickman is lying asleep in the grate. Can anyone wake him before it's too late? He dreams of his kids and his stick lady love, then suddenly wakes. What's that noise up above? It starts as a chuckle, then turns to a shout. Oh, ho, 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 I'm stuck, get me out. A stuck man? Now who could that be? Don't worry, cries Stickman, I'll soon set you free. A scratch and a scrape and a flurry of soot, a wiggle, a jiggle, and out pokes a foot. A shove and a nudge, a hop and a jump, and Santa falls into the room with a thump. Stickman, oh Stickman, you excellent friend. Thanks, thanks a million, thanks without end. Then Stickman helps Santa deliver the toys to fast asleep girls and to fast asleep boys. Faster and faster they fly through the snow, till Santa says, only one chimney to go. Stick lady's lonely, the children are sad. It won't feel like Christmas without their stick dad. They toss and they turn in the family bed. But what is that clattering sound overhead? Someone is tumbling into their house. Is it a bird or a bat or a mouse? Or could it just possibly be? I'm Stickman, I'm Stickman, I'm Stickman, that's me. And I'm sticking right here in the family tree. We were all reunited. So cute.